The Department of Computer Science and Engineering of JISCE College of Engineering started its journey from the inception of the institution year of 2000 and is one of the prestigious departments for its ability of research and development activities apart from the regular academic work. CSE approved intake of 180 students in each year in BTech course and intake of 18 students in each year in MTech course and lateral intake 10% of total intake. The Department of Computer Science and Engineering of JISCE College of Engineering is led by Professor Dharampal Singh. The department has traditional and smart classrooms to ensure that the students get complete and updated facilities. The faculty are dynamic and have a strong tradition of mentoring and guiding students towards achieving goals and fulfilling them, keeping the social responsibility as its central core. The department encourages students to explore new technologies by conducting workshops, national or international webinar, guest lecture, certified trainings, and other technological events like project, paper presentations, and also provides various opportunities to the students to engage in technical and non-technical activities beyond the classroom, like student clubs, sports activities, in-house coding competitions, cultural competitions, CSI activities, and more.
Hey everyone, my name is Shankhu Chatterjee. I was a student of JS College of Engineering. I graduated back in 2005 in Computer Science Department. I came back today to give a guest lecture on data analytics. Well, after coming to this college, I have seen a great change. It feels great to be back over here. The college that we saw when we were studying over here was totally different, and now the way it has evolved over years, right? It's been amazing. It feels great to be back and to give this lecture, to get that opportunity to give this lecture in front of the students. It's a great opportunity, and thanks a lot to everyone for giving me this opportunity.
পবিত্র
Yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ কখন স্টার্ট হবে?
Yes, sir. You can start now.
Okay. So can I start now?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay. So I'm connected with actually mobile and laptop parallelly. So if any voice problem occurs, you just inform me. Okay.
Okay, sir. No issue. Hello. We request to all the participants who have joined over Zoom, please unmute yourself. Please mute yourself. Don't try to unmute. Okay.
So good afternoon to all the participants who are present over here in Zoom as well as in YouTube Live. In yesterday's session, you have understood how to work with Google Colab, how you can write your program in Google Colab, and you have understood how to use function, how to use loop. Today, I will be talking about one data structure, special data structure used in Python, which is list. It is very important. And in case of list, you will understand that this list can be used in many applications. And sometimes it will be better to use list, and then if it needed to add a list to any other data type, you can do that. Okay. So list is a collection type of data which contains different types of data. It is not mandatory that all the data will be of same type. It can contain data of any type, and all the items present within a list are indexed. Okay, so it is one ordered collection. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen. Pavitra, just inform me whether it is shared or not.
Yes, sir. It's coming.
Is it shared?
Yes. It's visible.
Okay, good. So I have already mentioned that list is a ordered collection which has indexing. It can contain data items of different type. But how you can create a list? Before I start discussion on lists, so first the most important inbuilt function you need to use for different purposes, and one of the built-in function is type. If you want to know the data type of a type of data of any object, means what is the type of that object, you can easily find out that with the by using type method. So just like x is equal to 5, and if you want to know the type of x, you can easily get it. And 5 is integer data, right? Okay, so if you print it, it will display 5, right? But if you want to know the data type of x, how do you know that? Just use the method, type method on this, and you will get the what type of data it is, and you can see it is integer. Okay, so this object is belonging to integer class. The students who have little bit knowledge on object oriented programming, they know about class. Okay, so object is nothing but an instance of class. Okay, so what happens over here, we're declaring assigning 5 value in x. What happens in memory, one location is allocated for 5, and 5 is stored there, and that is called the object. and that object is given a name, and that name is X. Okay. And even if you want to find out the type of 5, it can also get the same thing. It is integer because 5 is belonging to integer. Okay. Another built-in method which is very much necessary, if you want to know actually where this object is located in computer, how will you know that? That if you want to know the address, for that in Python, there is one built-in method. It's called ID. ID returns the address of X, of this object. If you print it, it will return, and this is the address. All of you know when you are talking about data, this data are stored in computer's memory. And today I will not be talking about only the way of using list and other things. Side by side, I also will talk about the technical things, means how the data are stored in computer's memory, because it is very, very important to understand the way of storing data in computer's memory. Okay. So this is one method, ID method, which returns the address of this object. Okay. Now let's talk about what is list. I have already mentioned that list is an ordered collection of data. And if you want to create a list, you need to use opening square bracket and closing square bracket. Just like if you do it, it will create a list. We have not assigned any data within this list. It will just create one empty list. And if you want to print the type of X, just like type of X, it will return the type of X, and it will understand that its class name is list. It means this X is an object of list class. It is an instance of this list class. Okay. Now, if you want to create a list containing some numbers, suppose the 4, 5, 8, and if you want to print it, you can easily do that. Sorry, is that X? It will print this list. As list not only contain only integer number, any type of data can be stored. Here all data are integer data. 4 is integer, 6 is integer, 8 is integer. You can keep a mix of data like 4.5 is a floating point number. Also, if you want to store a string, all of you know the A, B, C, D. This is the string, right? So data, if you write anything within double quotes or single quotes, it will be considered as string. Okay. And if you print it, you will find out this. Okay. So this is the list containing this. And as it is indexed, you can access any data by indexing. Just like if you want to print the values of this, what is the location of this 8? Remember, indexing starts from 0. It means the position, this is the first item, its position is 0, and the item 6, its position is 1, item 8, its position is 2. Okay. So list, what is the syntax to declare a list? This is the syntax, means all the items within a list will be separated by comma. The data can be of any type, and all these items must be enclosed within square brackets. Okay, one is opening square bracket and it will be closed by the closing square bracket. Okay. Now, if you want to display age, how will you do it? As you know, its index is 2. It is 0, it is 1, and it is 2. So if you print it x2, you will get the result 2. Okay. You will get age because its index, its position is 2. Okay. Just a minute. I'm going to something. Okay. Now you will be familiar with another important built-in function which is required to know the associated members and functions. What are the functions and what are the attributes which are associated with one object? To know that, you need to use one built-in method that's called dir method. It is a built-in method already available in Python. So this built-in method can be used to know what are the different methods, and method means the function and the attributes available in list. Okay, so all of this, the X is the list. I have already mentioned the X is the list. Now, if you want to know the dir of X, so what is it? If you run it, it will return all the methods. So these are all methods associated with the list. Okay. Many attributes are there, some special methods are there, and this are the, you have to know these methods. Okay. You will understand all these methods, right? So very simple for any, like if you want to know, here X is list, suppose. So these are all the methods, associated methods. Okay. And if you want to know the associated members of string, ABCD is the string. So these are all the methods. Okay, these are all associated methods. The capitalize means if you want to capitalize one string, if you have to use this method. If you want to convert from lower to upper, so for that also there is method. So for any data type, if you want to know, means for any data type, in the sense for any class, if you want to know what are the methods are there, just you have to use the dir method. Okay, dir method. Or even if you hear the list, okay, so that is also something. Okay, so it will return all the methods mainly associated with list. So now I am going to use this method. How you can use this method on list, right? So first consider this list. I have already now I'm in the append method. What is this? If you want to add new data in a list, you have to use append method. And this append method will just add the data at the end, right? Like if you perform the append method, x dot append. And suppose I'm going to append 89. Okay. And then print x. So it will add, you will find out that 89 has been appended. Hence, it has been added at the end. Okay. Now, if you want to iterate all the data from this, how to do it? That means if you do not want to display all these items in one line, if you want to iterate over this list, then you need to use loop. In your previous yesterday session, Ms. Devasimi to explain these things, means how to use loop. So let's say how you can use loop to iterate over this data in the list, right? So how to do it? You have to use the for loop. For is the keyword, and you have to consider one each item is any variable, suppose k, or simply you can use the item in x. Okay, so in is the membership operator, so it is used to iterate over over this list. Okay, so what will happen for item in x, and then if you print the value of item, you can do it, right? So for in first iteration, item will be 4. In second iteration, item will be 6. In third iteration, item will be 8, right? And you can do it. That's because this is printed. This happens due to this print, and then within this loop, we are printing all these items one by one. In first iteration, 4 is printed. In second iteration, 6 is printed, right? So for item in X, this membership operator, that means when you are going to access or you want to iterate over the loop, so this way you can do it, right? And this list can contain mixed up of data, and also it can contain other list. Means within a list you can insert other list, right? Like here you can insert one more list. Suppose 11, 22. This is the another list. What is that? It means these are all items. Just try to understand this. These are all items. So the first item is one integer data. Second item is also integer data. Third item is also integer data. Fourth item is one float number. Fifth item is one string. And then next, the sixth item is a list. Okay. So it means a list within a list. Okay. So this is also valid. And if you do it, you can get it. So this is the list. And this is this. Okay. And if you want to print any other message like this, you can do it. Just like here you can write the list is, okay, so this is the string, and then you can use the comma operator, which is the separator of different items. Okay, so in print method, you can pass any number of arguments. The first argument is the list, and second argument is this object. Okay, so it will display this in this way, right? And when you are going to use this, you cannot use the plus operator. Okay, you cannot do that, right? So this is the list. List is equal to, you can use the equal sign over here, and it will display this list. Okay. So comma is the separator. If you want to print different type of data, then you need to use the comma as the separator. Okay. Because if you use plus over here, plus operator, it will show error message, right? You cannot do it because plus is the operator. It is used in print method. It is used to perform the concatenation. One string can be concatenated with another string. Okay, so plus is the operator which is used for concatenation purpose. Okay, actually it is called overloading operator. Plus has been overloaded. The students who have little bit knowledge on object oriented, they know that what is operator overloading. Okay, So this here plus is used for concatenation purpose. That means to list. So this is list. Sorry, this is the string, and second one is list. But directly we cannot concatenate it. If you want to concatenate other objects, means which is not a list type, string type, then you have to first convert it to string. Then after that you can do it. Okay, right? So this list can be converted to string. How to do that? Just you have to call this method str method. Str converts any type of object to string. Okay. So if you do it, then this list will be converted to string. So this is the string representation of the list, and then it is you will not get any error messages. Okay. And for same thing, if you want to do this type of work for integer, then integer has to be first converted to string, then you can concatenate. Okay, that means this is one string and this is another, this is another string. Now you can do the concatenation. Okay. So this way you can do, or and better is if the items are of different type, then use comma, and comma this basically adds one space. Okay, the printing, and then it is okay. And here this is the space after equals sign, one space will be added, then this list will be printed. Okay. And also here, if you want to print this like this, the item, you can do it. Item is equal to this. So this way you can do it, right? This is the item 4, item 6, item 8. This is the item. So this, okay. So you can just first practice it. I am just copying this in chat box. Just a minute. So this you can check it. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, Pavitra, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, you can paste it in YouTube Live. Okay, because they can do.
Okay. I'm just pasting it.
Okay. Now, if your list is this, like here, you have seen that originally list was this, and then 89 has been appended. So this become the new list. Okay, 89 is added. Then we are accessing the item. Okay. Now, if your list is like this, print X. So this is the list, right? But if you want to print X3, what will be your output? 0, 1, 2. It is the 4.5, right? Because X3 means we are going to print third item from this X. Okay. One thing you should know, this is the part. If you are interested in technical things, means how the items are stored basically, you should know that this list is basically an array of, consider the array of pointers. The students or participants who have knowledge on array of pointers, they know it. So this list contains the array of pointers, and each pointer will point you to the actual object. Okay, that means data are stored somewhere else. So it contains actually the memory addresses. So it contains the address of integer data, then address of this, then address of this. Okay, so it is basically it is something like the array of pointers, right? Means it stores, means here how many items are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 items are there. Remember, not 7 items. It is a 6 item. This is the first item, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this is the sixth. Sixth item is the list. Okay. And its index value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Index value is 6. So it is basically the address, memory address. Here if you contain the address, here also it cannot contain address. Okay. So if you want to print x3, it will be 4.5. Now, if I ask you that if I want to get output 11, if I want to access this item, that is 11, then how will you do the indexing? What will the index value? How will you do the indexing? Because this 11 is not a direct item. It is not an item of this list. This 11 is one item of this list. Okay. Then how will you print this? So if you print x5, so it will print this list. 11 will not be printed because x5 means the fifth item. So fifth item is another list. If you want to get 11 as the output, then how will you do it? As 11 is the 0th item of this this fifth item of this list, then how will you do it? As you know, x5 indicates this list. Now from this list, we want the 0th item to be printed. So how you can do it? Here you can do another indexing, that is 0. So then only you will get it. Okay. It means that the first it will access the x5. So x5 is one list, and from this list we are going to access 0. Okay. And if you just break this, it is for easier understanding like this. Like, so if you assign in this way, x5, right? So your y will be another list, right? So y will be another list. So if you print it, you will get this list, right? So this is the, now from this y list, if you print 0th item, then you will be getting 11. Okay. But if you want to bypass this, then this x5 would be just written in place of y. So that is the approach. Okay. And you can just make it comment line. So this is the comment line, right? So remember, if any line starts with hash, then it is considered as comment line. Okay. If you want to make any single line as a comment line, then you have to use hash. Okay. It means this line does not exist in this code. Okay. So it is just a comment line. So it is the 11. Okay. So this is dependent. Now, if this list contains another list, so the 1, 2, then D, E, F, it is another list. Right. What is this? This is its ends over here, and then this. Now see, here in this list, it contains how many items? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 items, right? So this is the first item, second item, third item, fourth item, and then fifth item is the string, and this is the sixth item, and its index is 5, right? Index is 5. So its index is 5. Its index means its position is 4. It is 3. It is 2. It is 1. It is 0. Right? Now, if I want to print this 12 as output, how to do that? Now you see, here this list contains another list as item, which is the last item, and that item is a list, and that list also contains another list. Okay, that is called the nested list. So list within another list within another list. That means this 12 item, this is the data. It is present within this list, and this list also is part of this list, and this list is also part of this list. Okay, so that means the list within another list, which is also within another list, right? Now, if I want to print this 12 as output, what will the indexing? How to do that? Right? If you print, just listen, a little better in this. As you know, this 12 is present in fifth item of the original list. Fifth item, right? So if you print, so this is the fifth item. This is the fifth item, right? Now, if you want to print this list, because we are going to print data from this list, as this item is the third item, sorry, zeroth item. This is suppose the zeroth item. This is the first item. This is the second item. Better is we should, if we consider in this way, that the first item is the zeroth item, then it is the first item. This is the second item, right? It will be better to understand because indexing starts from 0. So we are considering 11 is the zeroth item, right? So as 12 is present in second item, so this is the second item, right? So if we print it 2, then you will be getting another list. Still we are getting another list, and this will be the list 12 DEF, right? This is the list. Now, as our objective is to display 12, how to do this? Already I have got this list, and 12 is the zeroth item of this list. Now put 0 over here, right? This way you can get any element, you can print any element from nested lists. Okay. Now I'll be discussing another method that is called clear method. Clear method will clear all the data. Then I'll be talking about the copy method, then count method, extend method, insert, pop, remove, reverse, and sort. Okay. So if you clear this, just like here, I'm removing this part. It's like here. If I call this method clear, one thing you should know, this is the basic things of object-oriented programming. When you have one object, if you want to access any data of that object, you need to use dot operator. So dot is the one operator to access the member of an object. And what are the members of an object? The member can be a data member. It could also be a function, member function, or function member. Okay. So if you call this method clear, then it will just remove this. Means it will clear all the data. Like here, if you print, first you print X, then after clearing, again I am going to print X. Then what the output? So due to this first printing, you will get the list, but after clearing, when if you want to print it, you will get one empty list. This is the empty list, right? Now, if you want to copy one list in another list, how to do that? And to explain the technical things of copying, it is better to display first of all the ID of X. Means what is the ID of X? Means where this is stored, right? In which memory location? If you print now, if you print ID of X, ID of X, then this is the address, right? And if you assign one list in another object, like here, if you do y is equal to x, right? And then if you print address of y, you will find that they are having same memory location. Y is not a different object. Okay, it is basically y and x are pointing to same location. They are basically name of same object. Okay, so if you run it, you'll understand that x and y both are having same memory location. You can check it, right? Okay, and due to this, if you add any data, suppose I am going to perform append method. Already you have understood append method. Append, and suppose I am going to add 44. You see, we are appending 44 in y. Okay, then this appending will be reflected in x, right? There, if you print x, just try to understand this. Here we have printed x. We have not changed directly in x, but what we are doing, we are changing y. We have performed append method in y. But this change also will be reflected in x. Why? Because x and y are both basically the same. They are basically denoting the same object. They are referring same object. Actually, same object is given to different name. One is x, another is y. Okay, and you can check it. Here print x, here also print x. Here the x was this, but here you see the x has been changed. We have appended only in y, but due to this appending, x is also changed. Why? Because they are referring same object. So if you change anything in y, it will be reflected in x. If you change anything in x, it will be reflected in y. Okay. So you can check it. I'm posting it in the chat box. That section, I'm giving it. You can try it. Now, in case of indexing, another interesting thing, you will understand that in case of list, index value can also be negative. In Python, you can use negative indexing also. What is that negative indexing? Just like if you want to print this last item, that means 11, 12, how will you do it? Last item, indexing will be -1. Okay, so -1 indicates the position of last item, right? So it will display this 11, 12, right? If you want to display The second last item. What will be this second last item? It is this ABCD. Okay. Now, if I ask you, this is the ABCD is the string. What will be the output? If it's 0, what will be the output? As x minus 2, it returns one string ABCD, and then next, when you are providing 0 indexing, it will just return the 0th character. Okay, the value at position 0 in that string. So it will return only A, right? So it is just A. Okay. If you have any confusion, just to do it, it will be better. Just like X is one string, and the A, B, C, D. It is a string, right? If you print, it is a string. If you print X0, it will return the first character of the string, right? The first character of the string. If you 1, it will return first, means character at position 1, that is P. If you minus 1, it will return the last character in the string. Okay, because the string is basically array of characters terminated by null character. So that is one null character. Okay, so this is the last character. It is G, right? One thing you should know that you can also perform slicing. I will be talking about slicing after some time. You will understand. Slicing can be done in ABCD. Just like if you want to display only BC, how will you do it? Or BCD, how will you do it? So if you the indexing starts, it is something like, in details I will explain. It is just like the 1 colon. That means it will display all the characters starting from index 1. Okay, so don't get confused. I will explain these things in details. Okay, so it will display the BCD, right? BCD. If you just want to make it fixed, that means 1, 2, 3. It means 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 means, remember, the 3 will not be included. This position 3 will not be included. It will be excluded. It will basically return the characters at position 1 and at position 2. That means B and C. Okay. Position of B is 1, position of C. Okay. So it will return BC. Yeah. So I will discuss this slicing concept in details after some time. Okay. So don't get confused. And list also, in case of list, how will you perform slicing? So I'll be talking about that. So just one thing. It is right. It is the method. I'll explain this gate size of, if you want to return how much space is needed for one list type of object, you can know that information using gate size of method, which is available in JISCE module. Okay, you have to import JISCE. JISCE is available, so JISCE module has to be used. Okay, so I'm not going to discuss this because it is not needed. And if you want to know the size of any object, you can use the underscore. Another way, to convert to underscore, then size of operator. You can use size of operator. Okay, size of operator will return the actual address allocated for the data of that object, but gate size of will consider extra memory space, extra spaces which are required to store one object in memory. Okay, so the return value of gate size of and size of will not be same. Okay, so right now it is not necessary to understand all these things. Just try to understand that if you want to know what is the size, how much space is required for this, you can use this. Just like here, just follow this example. It will be better for you. Right? The x is equal to 5. It is an integer object, right? 5 is integer data. If you want to know how much space is allocated for this integer, you will be able to know that using this. Okay. Just if you run it, you will understand. It is a 28 bytes. You think 28 bytes in C or C++, it is normally 4 bytes, but here it is 28 bytes. Okay. And this is not fixed. It returns, just try to understand, it is not fixed. Because the data type in Python, it is a dynamic. This allocated memory space will change. If you consider a large number, suppose this is a large number, you will find that this size will change. It is integer, but its size will change. Okay. Right? It requires 40 bytes in memory, right? So if you further increase the one, its size is increased. Okay, 44 bytes. But still, if you want to know the data type of x, then it is integer. Type of x, it is integer, right? So it is an integer data type. That means that this Python dynamically measures the size, memory space allocated for x. If you want to store a big number, a large number in x, large integer number, then it takes more memory space. If it is a small number, then it's a less memory. Suppose the 5. Here it is integer type. For 5 also it is integer type. And you say its size is 28 bytes, right? So it changes, it's not fixed. It's an integer, right? So in case of list also you can apply this. I'm not going to discuss this in details. I'll be talking about now the copy method. Already I was talking about a copy method. So this is a copy method. Okay. Just try to understand this one little bit better. So come to this. This one. Where is? Yes. This, not this. Okay. So consider this one. I was talking about, suppose this is x, and if you make y is equal to x, then what will happen? The x and y will remain same. But if you make a copy, x dot copy, then one copy of x will be created. Okay. Now if you print id of x, print id of x and id of y, it will be different. Okay. You can check it. Yeah, now see the IDs are different. Now here if you make any changes, suppose y dot append, and I'm going to append suppose the 88. This change will be reflected only in y, not in x. Okay. You can print over here, print x and print x and print y. You will find that the changes occur only in y, because x and y, they are not differing, they are not referring same object. X is referring one object, y is referring another object, right? So you see, so this is your x and this is your y, right? Now how will you do the slicing? So I'm going just directly moving that part. I will be discussing about this list comprehension. Before discussing list comprehension, so let's talk about. Okay, so first discuss about the comprehension. It will be better. What is comprehension? Using the technique of list comprehension, you will be able to write the nested loop in single line. What is that? Just like here, consider these things. Right. X is equal to, suppose, 4 and 5. This is one list. And if you want to add many times, suppose the 4 times you want to add a data, simple data for I in one thing you should range is one method. It is very useful method. Must remember range method, which returns a sequence of numbers. Okay. Suppose 4, it returns a sequence of numbers up to 3, 0 to 3. Okay. It returns a sequence of numbers. And if you perform append operation, x dot append, and suppose I want to append 88. So what is the output of this? It's a range method will return a sequence of numbers. Okay, it will return, basically you may consider as a list of numbers 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you can print over here if you want to know actually what is the value of I. You can check it. Print I. Okay, and then after this we are going to print X. What is the output of this? So here in first iteration value of I will be 1, in second, 0. In second iteration it will be 1, then third iteration. In every iteration 88 is appended in X. So if you do it, you will find out that this is the list, right? So during the iteration, so here first value of I was 0, in second iteration it is 1, in third iteration it is 2, in next iteration it is 3. And in every iteration, 88 is appended. In first iteration, 80, this is added. In second iteration, this is added, right? Now, instead of writing this, if you want to do it in single line, how to do that? That is the technique called comprehension, list comprehension. Okay. Or even it is like this. This is first initially you consider one empty list. And suppose I am going to append I. I'm going to append I. So what is the in first iteration value of I is 0, in this iteration 1. So 0, 1 to this will be added, right? So you can check it. So your list will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now instead of writing these many lines, if you want to do it in a single line, how can you do it? So that is called the comprehension. Okay. Let's check it, how you can do it. Very simple. Suppose I am going to create, that means you will get the same things. That means this list will be created, but in one line it will be created. Okay. So it will be the X is equal to one list will be created. This is the list. But what will the content of this? Here you can specify that. Okay. Suppose, let's try to understand this. The items will be, suppose I. I will be the item. Okay. So this list will contain only I. But what is I? Or even suppose it will contain J. But what is J? You have to now specify that. What is J? For J in range 4. Clear? So this is the list. Okay. Now, if you print X, you will get find that the list is created. Okay, run it. So this is the list. Clear? So this is called comprehension. If you want to do like this, you want to create a list containing the square of the term. That means 0 square, then second item will be 1 square, and third item will be 2 square, then fourth item will be 3 square. How to do that? If you write j into j, you can do it. J into j. And if you print it, you find out the 0, 1, 4, 9. And for 10, range 10, that means 0 to up to 9. The numbers will be all these numbers, square numbers. 0 square, then 1 square, then it is the 2 square, it is the 3 square, it is the 4 square. And this is called comprehension. Okay, in single line, you can do this. Okay. And if you want to create the list within list, how to do it? List within list, you can do it. So this will be a list within list. If you just put it as a list, so that means it will be, that means the items of this list, all the items will be list type item. That means it will be a nested list. Okay. So that means this 0 will be a part of a list, and this 1 will be another list, this 4 will be inside another list, right? So you can test it. All this. So this is one list. So this is the list within list. Okay. And if you want to insert another number also, you can do it. You can just give comma, and suppose the another number is suppose +1. You can do it. Second number. So that means all this list, this list, this list, this list, all this list will contain now 2 items. Each of this list will contain the 2 items. You can check it. Right? So this is the first list, 0, 1. Why it is 1? Because I have the j plus 1. J initially j is 0. In second case, it is the 1. In third case, so it is 1 first one, j plus 1. Then it is 2. Then it is 3. If you just want to put the index value, you can do it. Just simply put j. Right? And if you want to put the index value at the beginning, then this j square, you can do it. Right? So just write in this way. First put j, then you do it. Okay. So it means that 0 is in index 0, then 1 is in position 1, then 4 its position is 2, then 9 its position is 3. Okay. So this is called comprehension. And this is called the Pythonic way of programming. You don't need to write many lines. Without comprehension, if you want to do this, you need to write the code in more than, you need more number of lines, right? You may consider append method to all these things. Okay. You have to use one for loop, and within this for loop, you have to use append method, right? So this is one example of list. What we are doing over here. Initially, we have considered the empty list. Then we have considered nested loop. Means under one loop, this is outer for loop, and this is inner for loop. Okay. So this will create a list. It is in tuple form. As you don't know on the tuple right now, so make it as a list. Okay. So this is the list. So if you know about the loop concept, means nested loop, a loop within another loop, you must understand this. This is the way. Remember, in range is the method. What is the format? What is the format? Just before understanding this, just try to understand these things. You know. So now I am try to understand this. I am going to do this. So what are the numbers? Your list will be 0, 1, 2, 3, like. Is it clear? I think it is clear to all of you. So list will continue this list. Actually, the way to use range method is like this. You have to specify the starting, then ending, then increment. Okay. So that means it is equivalent to, it is something like that. 0 is the starting, then end is the, so it is end, and then increment, default increment, by default it is 1. So it is equivalent to this. That means in range method, you have to specify first argument is 0, start value, then end value, end value, and then increment, right? So you will get it, all this. Now, if you want to get the values in the interval of 2, then your increment will be 2, right? Clear? So this is a 0, 2. If your increment is 3, so your value will be 0, 3, then this, okay? So 0, then 3, then 6, then 9, and not more than 9, because the end limit is 10. That means up maximum possible value will be 9, right? So this way you can do it. It is called a comprehension, right? Okay. Now here, if you want to perform slicing, you can do it, right? Now these things is there. Actually here, if you just run this, it is the loop within loop. So what will happen? This is one loop, and within this loop, we are considering another loop, and the numbers will be inserted. So it is the, here this loop starts from 6 and it ends 8. So it starts from 0 and ends 2. Again, I'm telling, this end value will not be considered. Always it will consider a value up to 1 less than this end value, right? Here you can check over here. When your increment value is 1, we are getting up to 9, not up to 10. Okay. So this end value is excluded. Okay. So here also, so your index value will be 0 to up to 1, and here it will be 6 up to 7, right? So if you run this, you will get a list like this. So this will be the list. Okay. Because this will run 2 times, and then this will run 2 times, and then now if you want to do this in comprehension method, you have to do in this way. Same thing. Sorry. Make it as list. So that means we are going to insert in this way. This will be the pattern of the number num1, num2. Okay, so this is the pattern, right? This is the pattern, and this indicates that it will be a list, and each item of this list will be of this pattern. That means each item of the list will be another list, right? So each item will be list type, and each item will contain a list of 2 numbers, right? And here, if you want to represent this in comprehension, it will be for num1 in range 0 to 2. So that means this part. And then the inner loop. So this is this one. So you have to write it, this one. Okay. And if you run it, you will get same result, right? Same result. It is equal to. It is called comprehension. And let's talk about another thing here. It is also a comprehension method just to create a data in the format of matrix using comprehension. This is the list. Just try to understand how it is created. It is created. First, ignore this. First, if I want to do it, just try to understand. It is very important. Here, if you do this part, what is the result? X is equal to this. Then if you print X, no? So these are the values. Values will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay. Now, if you want to repeat this, something like that. Now, if you want to create a list, Y will be created in this way. Y will be created. X, your item will be X, and it will be repeated. Suppose for row, for R for suppose row, in range suppose 4. So what would be your output? Just try to understand this. Here in comprehension, what we are doing, we are inserting X, and this is your X, right? This is your X. Already here, so this is the pattern of X. So this will be inserted 4 times, right? Because this is used just to iterate it for 4 times, okay? And in every time, this X is added. X is added in the list. X is appended in the list, okay? So in first time, this will be added in the list. In second iteration, this list again will be added. In third, right? And you can check it. So this is the list. Now, if you print Y, so print Y. Print Y. Just give one break to make it differentiate. Just here, print this. Okay. So what will first X will be printed? So this is your X, and then due to this, you are getting this list. Okay. That means for R is equal to 0, it is inserted. Then for I is equal to 1, this is inserted. Then for R is equal to 2, this is inserted. So this way you can create list within list, and it is something like your matrix form, right? You can print it. If you iterate over there for row R in Y, and if you print R, you will find it in matrix form. Okay. Sorry. Have you got it? So this is in the matrix form. Total 4 rows are there. Now, if you want to do this in single line, how to do it? That means you want to create one 2-dimensional matrix in this form. How to do it? If just inactivate, just make this comment line, and the part which has been assigned in X, just put it in place of X, right? You will get same result. Okay. And now this will give error message, right? So we are just removing this print because X is not there, right? So you will get same result. Okay. So this is called the comprehension. I am giving this in a chat box, so you just test it. Acha, follow me. There is one. I have got one question in chat box. Sys.get size of is not working. The student or participant who is testing this, just first you have to use the import method. Okay. Import sys. Then only it will work. Clear? First you would use the import method. Import sys. Otherwise it will not work. Okay. I think the student who has used this sys.get size of X, they should know that first you have to import sys. Okay, write this line. a minute, I am showing it. You have to import this. Import sys means this is one module already available in Python. You have to use this sys module, means system module. Then you can use it. Sorry. Okay. Then if you use x is equal to 5, then if you print x dot sys dot get size of x, then it will work. Okay, otherwise it will not work. Clear? So this is the 28.
Sir, there are some more questions in chat box.
Okay, just a minute. Let me check.
Sir, what is directories?
Oh, directory. Actually, directory is the term associated with file system. Okay, so if you are a little bit have knowledge on file system, you will understand. So directory is more or less similar to folder. Okay, it contains file and within a directory you can keep file, you can put other directory, right? So means other folder. So directory is something similar to the folder basically, but actually it is used in relation to the file system. Okay, and if you want to know the working directory, because when you work in a system, whether you are working in your local system or whether you are working in Ola, in whatever the platform you use, always you have one working directory, working path. Just like here I am working, but what is my current working directory? In which path I am working? If you want to know that, there is one command, Linux command, that's called pwd. If you use this command pwd and if you run, you will understand your current working directory. So this is the current working directory / content. Okay. You can change this using cd command. So directory is like that. Like suppose I'm sharing a screen. So this is my directory. Okay. So this is one directory. Here some files are there, some folders are there, and this is the path. This is the path. Okay, that means D drive. Then this is one folder under this. So this is the path. So directory is basically a collection of files and other folders. Okay, and every directory has a path. That means when I am, suppose I am working over here. Suppose, then you must have one path of working, and here this is the working path. Okay, / content over here. You can check over here, right? And if you mount in yesterday's class, I have shown you how to mount your drive, and you can change your path. Okay, so my path is this content, under content. And here you can create a directory also, right? So if you want to create a directory, suppose the not mkdir, this is the command. Okay, suppose that I am going to create one directory Python directory. So this will be created, right? And this is the Python. Have you got it? Are you getting it? This is the directory. This directory is created over here. You can change your working directory. Always, initially I was working over here. Now, if you want to change your working directory, you can do that by a cd command. Cd is the for change directory. Then if you want to paste it, just right click over here. If you want to move, right click and copy the path and paste over here. And then within single quotes or double quote. If you paste it, now your working directory will change. Right? Now this is the working directory. And you can check it. If you run again your pwd command, pwd means print working directory, means in which directory you are working. Means if you create any file, if you upload any file, it will be saved here, right? So this is the present working directory. Clear? So this is the present working directory.
Thank you, sir. Next question is append meaning.
Append, just a minute. Append means to add data at end. Okay. Append means always adding data at the end. If you want to add data at the end of the list, means the data that you are going to add, it will be added at the end of the list. Okay. So that is called the append method. So if you want to do that, you need to use append method. So append is a function of list class. Okay. And I have already shown how to use append method. Okay. Any more question?
Yes, sir. The last question is, can we print only with for loop without append?
Without append. You can do it. Whether you want to use append or not, it depends on you. If you want to add data, you use append. If you do not want to add data, you don't need to use append. Okay. Just like here, this is the list. In comprehension, I have explained. Here I have, it is the using comprehension, I have placed the data in the list, and its form structure becomes like this. If you want to use append method, you can do it. If you don't, just like that, this is the list. I have considered one list, 4, 7, 8. Okay. And if you print it, no problem, if you print it, print X, and it will be printed. If you want to use the append method, you can do it. If you want to append data during loop, you can do it. If you do not want to use append method, so it depends on whether you use it or not. If you use it, will be appended, means it will be added at the end of the list. If you do not use append, it will not be added. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. No more questions.
Okay. So there's some advanced comprehension technique. That means if you want to know, just like here, it is one advanced. So this is what it will create a list of containing a number which will be even number, divisible by 2. So this will return divisible by 2. Okay. So this way you can do it like this. Suppose suppose the x is equal to, right? X is equal to I, and what will the I? For I in range, and what will the range? So the starting value is 0, n value is 10, and default increment is 1. Okay, so this is the list. By comprehension, I have created it. Now print x, and this is a result, right? Sorry, what happened? 0, 1 in range, 0, 10, 1 for I. Oh, sorry, I have not given the variable name. So this is I, but I in range. And if you run it, and you will get this output, right? Okay. Now, if you want to create a list of numbers which are even numbers, how do you do it? In that case, here, or just after this, you have to add the condition. If I modular division by 2, this is the percentage, the modular division operator. If this is equal to 0, okay, then it will contain all the even numbers, right? Have you got it? So this is the important. And this is called the comprehension way of means Pythonic style of programming. Okay, you don't need to write this in many lines. If you want, you can use this in using for loop and then if statement. But here I have written everything in a single line. Okay. So now I'm going to. So it is now I'll be talking about slicing. This is very, very important. Slicing. If you want to extract some part of data, not all data. Okay, part of data. Your list is something like that. Yeah. So here, suppose the list is contains 5, 70, 30, 20, 90, 10, 50. So these are all integer number. And these are the index value. So 50 is in 0th index, 70 is in index number 1, right? Now, if you want to perform slicing, so this is the syntax. First list object name, list object. Then within square bracket, you have to specify the initial index value, then end index value, then jump index value. Okay, jump index. Just like here, consider this example here. If you want to slice this part, means we are going to extract only this part from this list. How will you do it? As we are going to extract from this, so this part, this 70, 30, 20, and 90, this part starts from index 1 and end index is 4. So you can do the slicing. Okay. So you have to specify the starting index, you have to specify the end index value, and then jump. So as here the default jumping will be 1 because the increment value is 1. Okay. Now end value will not be considered. So if you want to extract this part, your end value will be 5. Okay. So how you do this slicing? So this is the way of slicing. List is the starting index and this is the end index. Okay. So this is called the slicing. So now I will be talking about the slicing. Just like here, consider this example. So suppose this is the list. Okay. This is the list. So here, this list, I want to perform slicing. So how will you do it? Print X. Better is not as a list. Make it X. It will be better for us. X is the list. Right? And here we are going to perform slicing. X. How will you do the slicing? Suppose we are going to perform slicing this item. 4, 5, 6, and 7. We want to extract this. So what is the starting? The 0, 1, 2, 3. So this its index value is 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 6 index and this is the 7 index. So we have to do 3 to up to 7. So this 3 is the starting, then up to 6, and default jumping, that is the increment value is 1. So if you do it, you will get 4, 5, 3. It will be up to 7, right? Sorry, it will be 7. So you will get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Your 7 index will not be considered. It will consider index value up to 6, which is 1 less than 7. Okay. So this way you can do this. But if you do jumping, that means the increment value is 2. What is the meaning of this? Increment value 2. It will extract this item, then it will jump 2 location, 2 index. That means the next it will print 6. Then it will try to print 8, but as 8 is outside this range, it will not be printed. Okay. So your output will be 4 and 6. Let's check. Four and 6. Okay. And if you do like this, if you want to print all the numbers starting from 3, then how will you do it? Remember the way of this. If you consider only one number and then colon, that means the others values are default values. Okay. That means the default n value is last value, last index value, and in default increment value is 1. So it will print the 0, 1, 2. So you have to start from index 2. Then only you will get the values starting from 3. Okay, because 3 its index value is 2. So you will get this 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Now this is this. Will you get any difference? No, no, no. It will work. Okay. And what will happen after this? 2 followed minus 1. Can you tell me? Minus 1 means index of last item. Can you tell me what will be the output? Anybody? So it means 1 less than the last index. That means it will print up to minus 2. So if you do it, there's a up to minus 2. That means up to this. Clear? So this way you can do indexing. And if you want to increment value, suppose the increment is suppose 2. So it will jump to, that means first 3, then 5, then 7. Okay. So this way you can slice. Means if you want to extract some parts of this list, you can do it. Okay. You can start from any location. Just you have to maintain this notation. That means the first initial index value, then n index value, that means the stop value or the last index, means n index value, and then jump. Okay. So this is the syntax. But if you do it, that means it will consider all the elements starting from 2. Okay. So it means it is the default value. That means up to, it will consider the up to last element. But the jumping will be 2. Right? Can you tell me what will happen if we write this? Again, I am telling, if you do not specify any value, then it will consider the default value. Default starting index value is 0. Default n value is last value, last index value. Okay, last index value means the last index means index value of last item plus 1. Remember, index value of last item plus 1. Okay, so that means the 9, its index value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So index value of 8 is 9 is 8. So actually the n index value will be 9, and that 9 will not be considered. Okay. So what will the result of this? So we have not specified the starting value. So starting value will be 0. That means it will start from 0 index. We have not specified the n value. That means it will go up to the last item. And in the jump we have specified, so it will jump to location. Okay. So jumping value is 2. So what will our output? 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. Okay. So this will be your output. Yeah. So this is all our list. So you can do practicing. So you can check it. So this is the list. I am giving you this part. You can test it. All of you can test it. So this is just an example. Okay. So if you run it, you will find out first the original list. This is the original list. Then sliced list. Due to this, your output will be this 468. Okay. If we change the values over here, suppose the here is the first value, then it is 8. You will get the value according to that, right? Okay. Right. Now I will quickly consider the other methods, then stop. I have already mentioned, so just a minute. All of you just do it. I am giving this code in chat box. So you share it. Okay. So Pavitra, are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir, I am here. I am here.
Okay. Okay. So post it in YouTube also.
Yes, sir. Already posted.
Yes, sir. Posted.
Now let's consider the other example. That means already you have seen what are the methods, the dir, list, and so these are the methods. I am going to explain all these methods now. Already I have, so quickly I will do it. Append method, already you have seen append method, clear method, copy method, and count. What will happen is a count. I'm just copying this method. Suppose this is the list. And suppose assign it in name X. And count will return how many items are there. Print X dot count. CO, already you will find out this method. Yeah. So this is the count method. It will return how many items are there. So what happened? X dot is it? Oh, sorry. Count X. What happened over here? X is this. It is the list. Count. What happened? Count takes exactly one argument, but 0 given. Yes. Count. You can use in this way also, count X. Okay. This is the count method. X dot count, print X, the count is not defined. You can use the list method over here. So count is a method of list dot count, and what happened? Okay, so it is a method. It's a spelling mistake. No count. Count is the method. Okay, correct it. Just X dot and count. If you see the pattern, you can get it, right? So you have to first return value the number of occurrences. Means how many, means what is, how many times a particular item occurs. So that it returns that value. Suppose here, you see over here, 4 occurs 2 times, right? 4 occurs 2 times. So if 4, it will return that 2. Okay, so 2 will be your output, right? So 4 occurs 2 times here. So count method basically returns the frequency of an item. So 4 is the item. This 4 occurs 2 times. This is one time and this is another time in the list. Okay. And if you want to find out how many times 8 occurs, it will return one value because 8 occurs only one time. Okay. Then I will be talking about the extend. Extend method basically is used to extend a list, right? Here, if you consider one more list, suppose the Y is another list, and the items are 3 and 99 is one item, another is 33. Okay. So if you want to extend this, how to do it? Extend x dot extend Y. So then after this, if you print the value of x, you will find that the x list has been extended. Okay. These are the initial data. Now you are going to add another list, the data of another list within this list. Okay. That means 33 will be added, 99 also will be added. So it is called the extending a list. So you can print it. So this is, you see the 33 has been added, 99 is also added. Okay. Now you can ask me, sir, what is the difference between append and extend? Append adds the data at the end, extend also adds the data. But here, extend method expects data from another list. Okay, so Y is another list, and from this list, it will add data. Okay, if you just remove this part, then also you can do in this way also, no problem. Here, if you want to append this like 33 and then 88. Okay. So this list means X will be extended by getting data from this list. So 33 then 88. Okay. If the second item is another list, no problem. It can be done. Suppose there are 77 and then 99. No problem. So this item will be added. So what will be added? As this list contains 2 items. So in case of extension, first this 33 will be added with this list. Then this list will be added. 77 and 99. So this will be inserted as a list item. Okay. It will be a list. It is not like the 77, only 77 and 99 will be added. It will be added as a list. Okay. So you can check it. So 33 is added first, then 77, 99. This is another list. Okay. So this is called extending. Extending one list by getting items from another list. So this is the first item is integer data, but second item is a list. Now, as a pop, I'm not going to discuss. You can check it. The remove. If you want to remove any data, how do you do it? Suppose this is the list. I am going to remove it. So you can test is the extend method. Okay. I'm giving in chat box. You can test it. Okay. Now I'll be talking about a remove method. So if you want to remove any item, x dot remove. OBE, remove. So this remove method will remove one value or item. Suppose you want to remove 4. So how remove 4? So what will be the output of this? So 4, this the 4 is there. So it will remove the first occurrence of 4. So you see 4 occurs 2 times. So it will remove only the first occurrence. Okay. If you want to remove 6, so 6 will be removed, right? 6 will be removed. But what will happen if the data is not present? Just like here, if you want to remove 66, what will happen? Will it be successful to remove? You see, it will show error message because 66 is not present. Then how do you use remove method? You can use remove method based on the condition. You have to check whether if X is present, if X is in X. So this way you can check it. And then only you remove. Okay. There's a condition. Sorry, not item. It is if 66 is present in X, then only you remove X. So 66 is the item. Then you will not get any error message because it is not found. So nothing. So this condition is false. In is the membership operator. Okay. So whether 66 is present in this list or not. So it will return one truth value. It will be true or false. As 66 is not present, so it will return false. So as this condition is false, so it will not be executed. Okay. And then if you want to reverse it, X dot reverse. X dot reverse. You can do it. Okay. So it is in place sorting. Okay. So all the items will be reversed. You can check it. It will be sorted in reverse order. Okay. So reverse. And another method is the sort method is there. Sort is a sort method. So whatever all the items will be sorted in ascending order. Okay. A minute. So here by default reverse is true. So this will be sorted in ascending order. You can sort it. Okay. But if you want to sort it in reverse order, you can do it. Reverse in by the default value of reverse is true or false. But if you want to do it in reverse order, so reverse is true. You have to pass this argument. Reverse is true. Then it will be sorted in reverse order. Okay. That's right. So this way you can do it. You cannot perform the other operation like this. If you want to do this type of operation, the X plus 2, can you do it? No, it is not possible. Then if you want to print Y, what is the meaning of this? You want to add 4 with X and then you will be assigning in Y. It is not possible, right? Because you cannot perform this type of addition. It will show error message. Okay. Integer cannot be concatenated with list. But one thing you should note, if you do this operation star, it is valid. But here this X will be duplicated. So better is so make consider a less number of items. Okay. So 4 to 3. So it means this X will be repeated 4 times. Clear? And then another list will be created, that is Y. Yes, we can check it. So this is the list. So 4 to 3 is repeated 4 times. So this is one time 4 to 3. Then another time 4 to 3. Then another time 4 to 3. Then another 4. Okay. But if you want to create a list type of structure, that means this will be inserted in the list. Then how do so you have to keep this X within square bracket. Then what will happen? This list, that means this X within square bracket, this will be repeated 4 times. So that means it will create list within list. Okay, you can check it. So this is list within list. Okay, so this is the first list. This is the second list. So these are different types of operation. You can practice all these things. Okay. And one thing you should note over here, as we are unable to do this operation X plus 2, we are unable to do it. because it is giving error message. Means our objective is to add 2 with all these elements. It is not possible. Then what is the solution? How you can do it? Tomorrow it will be discussed. Means using NumPy array, you can do it. Okay, this type of operation can be done. That means the list has to be considered. Instead of using list, you have to consider the array, NumPy array. Okay, but using you can do this type of operation using your, what to say, it is like using comprehension. You will be able to do that, because our objective is to add 2 with 4 and 2 and 3. That means our objective is to get 6, 4 and 5. How to get it? Using comprehension, you can easily get it, right? What is the way to do that? Just what you need to do is I plus 2. What is I? We are going to perform this operation. I plus 2. Okay. But what is I? I will be the items of this list. So for I in X, if you do it, it's possible, right? So this is a way, but it is not so easy way. So but to get this type of things, like add one data with all the items of a list, you cannot directly do that. For that type of operation, it is better to use NumPy array. Okay, and you will get this result, right? So this is one way, 6, 4, 5. Okay, so this is one way to get it, to get this. That means 2 will be added with each element of this, right? So just to practice it, right? So these are all about list. So still, if you have any question, you can ask me. So Pavitra, or
Yes, sir.
any question?
So till now,
Yes, sir.
No.
There are 2 questions.
2 questions are there.
One
Paul
is-
will handle it.
One is,
Okay.
what is the use of double equal sign?
Double equal sign.
Yes, sir.
Yes, double equal sign is used in case of comparison, right? Suppose here, if you write x is equal to 4, and want to test whether x and y are equal or not. How do if x double equal to y? So it is the relational operator. Then you can print just like equal. Else you can print unequal, something like that. Okay. Else print unequal. Right? So this is the way. That means it will test, it will return either true or false. Okay. So your output will be unequal. Or even without doing this, simply if you want to know the print, instead of print, just a minute, you can do it. Just I'm writing a new line. So the x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 8, and print. You can test it what it is giving. Print x double equal to y. What is our output? It will print either true or false. As they are unequal, so it will return false, right? So it is a false is the output. Or even if you want to test a number, you can also suppose the first number is 7, 7 number is 8. These are not equal, so it is the false. Okay. So it is just used to check whether 2 items are equal or not. Any more question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Next question is, what is the use of the double colon sign?
Double colon. Okay, double colon is for slicing purpose here. Like here you can see, if we declare one list like this for 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Just try to understand when you're in the print, right? And use the X double colon. Okay. What is the meaning of this? Means we are not specifying any start index value. We are not specifying. It is used for slicing purpose. We are not specifying any end index value. We are not specifying the increment. Okay. Actually, just try to understand. Just before this, I'm giving a space over there. It will be understood. Just before the first column, you should specify one value. That's called the start value. Okay. Just after the first column, you should specify another value, but I have not specified it. If you specify, it will work according to that. And after the second column, you have to specify the jump value. Okay, jumping means so increment value, right? So if you put it, so it denotes that it will slice all the detail, means it will print this whole list. Okay, to do it, you will get whole list, right? That is the two consecutive column. But if you want to give one value, any value, suppose the 2 over here, what is the meaning of this? It means the end value will be 2. So 2 means, and so here this is its index value is 0, and the index value of 5 is 1, and index value of 7 is 2. Okay, so here you are putting 2 means we will consider the data up to index 1 less than 2. That means it will consider 0 and 1 only. Okay, so that means 3 and 5 will be your output. Clear? So you can run it. Just a minute. So if you run it, you will get it. So 3 and 5. Okay. So 2 consecutive colon means starting index is 0, ending index is means the last item, the index of last item plus 1, and the increment, the jump value is 1. Okay, so this is called a 2 column. So if you put 2 consecutive column, it is a way to access all the items from the list. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Any more?
Yes, sir. Actually, some participants want to see the copy method and the arithmetic operation of 2 list. That method. That 2 method.
Arithmetic operation of 2 lists.
Yes, sir.
So I think you're talking about this operation. This is the arithmetic operation. Like here, if you want to perform addition or simple like this, suppose arithmetic operation in the sense like if you want to do it, suppose this is one list X. Okay, X is equal to 3, 4, right? And Y is another list. Suppose 8, 23. Suppose. So this is the one list. And if you want to perform addition operation, X plus Y, it is possible. But remember, it does not mean that numbers will be added. It does not mean that 3 and 8 will be added, then 4 and 23 will be added. Not that. It means 2 lists will be merged. Okay. So if you print the values of Z, what will be your output? You check it. So this is, have you got it? Okay. That means these 2 lists, that means the values of Y has been added with first list. Okay. So it is basically the concatenation. Plus operator is used for concatenating 2 lists. Okay. So this way you can add 2 lists. Okay. But if you want to add the 2 values, you have to do you may use comprehension technique, or you may use a loop with other techniques. Okay. But if you want to perform this operation, what will happen? Suppose the minus operation. Is it possible to do it? No, you cannot do it. Okay, because it is not allowed. And the subtraction, the plus can be used for, and this is used for concatenating two lists. Okay. And I think here another thing was there. What was that, Polome?
The copy method.
Copy method. Yes, copy method will just is used to copy like this. Suppose this list X, you want to copy it in Y. So how to do it? X dot copy. So this is the copy method. Then what will happen? All the values from X list will be copied in Y list. Okay. Y list. So this is called copy method. That means the values of, we are printing Y, but it is displaying 3 and 4 because this values has this copied using this copy method. Okay.
Thank you, sir. There are no more questions. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I am stopping my screen sharing now. Still, I'm waiting. If you have any question, you can directly ask me or you can write in a chat box.
Yes, sir. There is a question. How to access particular value of a list which is extended in another list?
Which is extended in another list? No, if you use extend method, so after using extend method, another list is created, right? Another list is created, and from that list you can access any item. You can do slicing, no problem. Okay, just a minute. I am sharing the screen again. Let's like here. Suppose this is the list. Okay, and this is another list. Another list. 66 and 88. Now, if you perform the extend method, so x dot extend. And y will be extended. So x will be extended by taking values from y, taking items from y. So y will be extended, right? So this is x, so x is extended. Right? Initially x was 423, now it has been extended, means its length has increased. Now if you want to perform slicing, you can do over here. Suppose the 2 colon. So it will display this. Okay, so 36622. So this is the 3. Okay, so you can do anything. And here if you print, so better this first, if you print x over here, then you display this. It will be better for you to understand. So first x, so this is your x array after extension. Then you have print the values by slicing. Okay. And if you want to do slicing and if you want to assign in another list, you can do it. Suppose the Z, you can do it. And then if you print the values of Z, you will get it, right? So this is the Z list. Okay, any more question?
Yes, thank you, sir. There is a code in the chat box. The question is, in this code, how it implements J?
For how it implements J?
Yes, sir. There is a code in chat box. X equal to J into J for J in range 10 print X. In this, how it implements J?
No, how it implements J, actually just try to, okay. So actually you want to know the explanation of this, right? Okay, just a minute. I'm copying it and pasting over here. Right? And think this is the code. Okay. And then is the printers, right? It is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, what happens over here? It is called a comprehension. It's a comprehension. First of all, this, consider this one. Let's try to understand. It is your items of the list is this. So this is the list of items. First, I'm removing this part. removing this part. So this will be the list. That means your items will be J into J. But what is J? You have to tell that. Otherwise, it will show error message. No? So now it will give error message because it don't know about J. So now using loop, if you use the loop, so from this loop it will get the values of J. Because the loop means it will run some iteration. In first iteration, values of J will be 0. Because just try to understand, in the range you can pass 3 values: start values, then end values, then increment value. If you pass only one value, then start value and increment value will be the default values. Okay. So start value is 0 and increment value is 1. So range 10 means it will return a sequence of numbers. Kiki number pabe? First 0, then 1, then up to 9. Okay. So in the first iteration, value of J will be 0. In second iteration, value of J will be 1. Okay. So when value of J is 0, it will be 0 into 0. That means value will be 0. In second iteration, value of J is 1. So it will be 1 into 1. So that means it will be 1, right? So this way. Now if you print it, you will get 0, then 1, then 2. That means square of this number. Okay. Just like if you face any problem, just you can, its alternative way is like this. Just try to understand this. Without comprehension, if you want to do it, it will be like this. First, copy this method. All of you know about loop. Then what you need to do, just copy this method. Okay, but before that, oh, sorry, it is not required actually, right? It is not required. Okay, so first, so if you run it, you will get this, right? So what you need to do, first of all, you have to consider one empty list, right? Then you have to use a for loop, and then if you may consider append method, append. And here you print J into J, right? And then if you print X, you will get same result, right? Sorry. If you print it, you will get same result, 0, 1, 4, 9. So this is the normal method. And this is called comprehension method, list comprehension. Okay. In single line, you can do it. Technique is very simple. First, you have to remove this because all the items of the list will be like this. First of all, this is the list, opening pattern, closing pattern, and the items will be J into J type. But what is J? Now you have to specify. So what are the values of J? J will come from a sequence. So that is this. This will return a sequence of number, right? So in first iteration, the value of J is 0. In the second iteration, value of J is 1, then 2, then 3. And then if you run it, you will get it. Okay. Clear? So any more question?
No, sir.
Okay, now I am stopping this. Stop my screen sharing. Okay, now over to you, Pavitra or Polome. You now continue.
Yes, sir. Now I want to over to Devashree ma'am. Ma'am, are you there? Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Amit Majumdar sir, for your wonderful and informative session. Many comments we are getting in the chat section. We are very happy and very excited to attend this session, sir. And I just want to congratulate and say thanks to all the participants who have joined the session. So we are also equally excited with all of you. So tomorrow 6 o'clock again we will meet our another session, that is the day 3 session, and where Amit sir, tomorrow we will cover the NumPy set. So that will be also another great session by Dr. Amit Mujumdar sir. So please stay with us and join the session on time. Do not late. And yes, thank you and stay safe and good night. So that's it. Thank you.